Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission today, well, it's all about high performance efficiency. We are diving into a single comprehensive source, a complete full body, no equipment workout blueprint. We're calling it the Full Body HIIT Plus Core Shred.
And this is a perfect case study for optimization, really. Our listeners shared this because they want to know how a plan like this is structured, especially when the two biggest limitations, time and, resources, are at their absolute tightest.
Exactly. We're basically decoding the engine room. Our target listener is looking for a shortcut to being well-informed about fitness structure, and what we found is this plan that promises three specific things.
Yep. Burn fat, increase endurance, and improve core strength.
And the whole thing has to clock in between 20 and 25 minutes, start to finish.
With zero equipment.
That-
That's the key. It's not really about the specific exercises themselves, it's about the sequencing and the clock. If you remove weights and complexity, the structure, well, it has to bear all the burden of generating results.
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the absolute essential foundation, the warm-up strategy. Now, when you look at that clock constraint, allocating only 3 minutes to prep seems, I don't know, almost dangerously brief.
It is brief, but it's brutally efficient. A common mistake people make with quick workouts is they treat the warm-up as, optional or unstructured.
They just jump right in.
They do. But this plan dedicates those 3 minutes entirely to dynamic preparation. It moves so systematically from the joints outward.
Okay, so they break it down to 5 specific movements, all with these really rapid transitions.
Right.
You start with arm circles for 30 seconds.
Right.
Then it's hip rotation for another 30.
And what you're seeing there is targeted joint mobility. These first two movements, they increase blood flow and, importantly, get the synovial fluid moving in the joints.
So you're lubricating the machinery.
Exactly. You're lubricating the machinery before you put any heavy load or speed on it. We're prioritizing range of motion here, not holding static stretches, which can actually decrease your power output.
That makes perfect sense. We're moving the body dynamically, and then the progression, it just accelerates dramatically. We go from that rotation into major muscle group activation. So we have march to high knees for 45 seconds,
A big jump up.
followed by slow squats for 30 seconds, and the 3 minutes finish with torso twists for 45 seconds.
And that progression is just vital. It's so vital because it addresses the cardiovascular system immediately. High knees and slow squats are compound activation.
They hit everything at once.
Right. They fire up the largest muscle groups, your legs and your glutes. This spikes your heart rate just enough to signal to your whole system that intense work is coming.
So if you skip those first 3 minutes, you aren't just risking a pulled muscle. You're starting the main HIIT portion cold,
Completely cold.
which means your heart rate won't spike as quickly, and you'll just spend precious seconds warming up when you should be working at your maximum output.
Precisely. The input cost is essential. Skipping it turns the whole thing from optimization into an injury risk. 3 minutes of structured movement guarantees you can hit maximum intensity safely.
The body is ready. Let's talk about the specific timing protocol that drives the HIIT engine itself. Here's where it gets really interesting.
We're in section 2 now, the core engine. The plan calls for 3 full rounds of 5 movements, and they all stick to a very specific interval structure.
30 seconds on, followed by 15 seconds rest.
The classic 2-to-1 work-to-rest ratio.
So why is that 2-to-1 ratio so crucial for hitting those goals, the fat burning and endurance, especially with no equipment? I was thinking, why not something faster like a Tabata 2010 protocol?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of the design here. If we look at Tabata, 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest, that super short rest is designed for just absolute peak output, usually with lighter loads.
Like an all-out sprint.
An all-out sprint. But the 30-15 ratio, that's better optimized for sustained high-intensity output, especially when we're just relying on body weight. You need those extra 5 seconds of rest to recover just enough to hit near maximal effort again for the full 30 seconds.
It's like a strategic insufficiency in recovery.
Exactly. It forces your body into a deep oxygen deficit. When we connect this to the bigger picture, this protocol maximizes what we call EPC excess post-exercise oxygen consumption.
The afterburn effect.
That's the one. Since you aren't using heavy weights, you have to use intensity and volume to force that metabolic spike that drives fat loss long after the workout is actually finished.
And the 5 movements they pick for this circuit, all compound movements, that seems brilliant for the time constraints. They hit multiple muscle groups at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. And the sequence itself is designed to allow certain muscle groups a kind of micro rest while your heart rate stays way up.
Okay, so we kick off with jumping jacks. The source describes it as Great full-body warm activation. Just a pure cardio blast.
Essential. It makes sure the heart rate stays spiked from the warm-up.
And then immediately after that, we hit the squat plus knee drive, which targets legs plus core engagement. So this is the first real load on the lower body.
And it demands stability and power, which are two elements often missing in these quick bodyweight routines.
Then, to drive the heart rate back up and challenge stability, and this is a key move since there are no weights, we get mountain climbers. The description notes, high calorie burn, core stability.
And this is the substitution, right? Since we can't load the body with external weight, the plan substitutes intensity and speed. That makes high-impact bodyweight moves like mountain climbers absolutely essential to hit that cardiovascular load.
And then notice the strategic break that comes next. Fourth is push-ups, focusing on chest, shoulders, triceps.
So the legs are now resting, but the chest, shoulders, and triceps are working hard.
Okay, but only 30 seconds of push-ups per round. That seems kind of minimal for true strength maintenance. Was there a consensus in the source that this brief exposure is really enough, or is strength just a tertiary goal here?
Strength is definitely tertiary, but the 30 seconds serves a very specific purpose in this plan. It guarantees we introduce resistance to the upper body to maintain muscle mass, while giving the lower body a critical break before the final sprint move.
Which is plank jacks,
Plank jacks.
the finale of the circuit. And it focuses on core plus cardio plus stability.
So if you look at the round as a whole, it's a full body sprint. Cardio, then legs and core, then cardio and core again, then upper body. And it ends with a pure core and cardio blend. This relentless sequence ensures you hit every major group, leaving absolutely nothing in the tank after 3 rounds. That's how you get total body efficiency in under 12 minutes.
Okay, so after taxing all the large muscle groups in this high-speed sprint, the program pivots sharply. It isolates the core, and it changes the rules entirely to force pure muscular endurance. We're moving on to Section 3, the dedicated core shred finisher.
And this is where the term shred really earns its name, and it's mainly because of the structural change. What's so fascinating here is that we move away from interval cardio, where recovery is calculated, into just continuous muscular fatigue.
And the timing protocol shifts radically. It's still 30 seconds for each exercise, but, and this is critical, there is no rest between movements. And you do that for 2 full rounds.
No rest at all.
3 different core movements, 0 rest. That sounds like the part of the program where I usually start bargaining with myself. That no rest period must feel like an eternity.
It's designed to feel that way. We're shifting the goal from making your lungs tired, so aerobic cardio, to making your muscles fail from continuous effort, which is muscular endurance. This focus on time under tension rather than explosive power is how the plan maximizes fatigue and growth in the abdominal muscles.
So what are the specific exercises? The plan lists bicycle crunches, heel taps, and flutter kicks. Why these 3 together?
Well, they're strategically chosen. They hit the abdominals from every angle you need for definition and for stability. Bicycle crunches hit the obliques and upper abs.
Right.
Heel taps focus heavily on the lower abdominal region. And flutter kicks demand controlled movement and continuous tension across the entire core.
And after that relentless, 4 minutes of continuous movement, the plan includes one final strategic challenge.
Yeah.
A prolonged static hold.
Yes, the 40-second final plank hold. After 2 full circuits of dynamic, no-rest movements, demanding the body to then hold a static position for that long. It pushes the deepest stabilizers, the transverse abdominis, to absolute failure.
That's a killer ending.
It's the perfect closing statement. It maximizes that improved core strength goal. I mean, if you can hold a solid plank after everything else, you know your core integrity has truly been tested.
Okay, so we've had 3 minutes of warm-up, roughly 11 minutes of HIIT, and about 4 minutes of the core shred. We are right on the edge of that 20 to 25-minute limit, which means these final minutes have to be non-negotiable and dedicated to recovery. So, Section 4, the recovery blueprint.
The cool down is so often the part people skip when time is tight. But this program details the stretches just as precisely as it does the intensity movements. It allocates a full 3 to 4 minutes to reverse the stress we just imposed.
And these stretches aren't random at all. They're highly specific restorative actions. We have cat-cow for 30 seconds, a cobra stretch for 30 seconds, a hamstring stretch for a full minute, and it finishes with deep breathing for 1 minute.
This selection is so deliberate, it links directly back to the workout itself. The cat-cow gently mobilizes your spine after the planks and crunches. The cobra stretch is critical because it counters all the flexion. It opens up the chest and stretches the abdominals that were just heavily compressed and contracted during all the push-ups, planks, and the core shred.
And that heavy focus on the 1-minute hamstring stretch makes perfect sense given the massive load on the legs during the squat, plus knee drives and all the cardio. It has to help prevent that post-workout tightness.
It's key for consistency, but the true genius of this recovery blueprint is that final minute of deep breathing. This goes beyond just muscle stretching. It's about systemic recovery. It signals to your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, that the high-stress period is officially over. This is vital for lowering your heart rate quickly and ensuring rapid integrated recovery. It prevents muscle stiffness and sort of central nervous system burnout.
So what does this all mean? The key takeaway for you, the listener, is the power of meticulous design. The success of this 20 to 25-minute plan lies entirely in the structure. It's a genius piece of periodization, the strategic switching of training styles, all within one microsession.
You see it so clearly. The strict 30-15 work-rest ratio for maximum cardiovascular burn. And that's immediately followed by the unrelenting 300 shred timing for focused muscular endurance. Every second, every transition, and every movement serves one of the three stated goals: fat burn, endurance, or core strength. The structure itself becomes the equipment.
It really is the ultimate lesson in efficiency under constraint.
Which leads to our final provocative thought for you to consider. Given how much impact can be generated in just 20 minutes with zero equipment, how much of achieving any goal relies on the complexity of the resources you have available versus the strategic application of time and structure? Think about where else in your life, in your work, your hobbies, your learning, you can apply the same principle of hyper-efficient structuring. If the blueprint is perfect, the results will follow, regardless of the tools you have on hand.